Hello and welcome to Cardinal Clips. My name is Kathy Leadham, Superintendent for the Willmar Public Schools, and we thank you for joining us for this program, which is designed to acquaint you with the people and the programs that make up the Willmar Public Schools. This particular edition of Cardinal Clips is devoted to the Cardinal Pride Hall of Fame, and we're very anxious to introduce to you the 2006 inductees into our Willmar Public Schools Hall of Fame. And joining me first, right off the bat, is Johnny Johnson, who actually graduated in 1947 and is being inducted into the Hall of Fame here in 2006. Welcome to you, Johnny.
Thank you.
You know, it's really great to have you here, and the day that we're filming this is the day of the big Pep Fest and the football game tonight, when you will be introduced to the stakeholders of the Willmar Public Schools, you might say. And it really is an honor to have an opportunity to meet you and hear a little bit about some of your accomplishments when you were a Willmar Cardinal. So maybe we could begin by asking you to just review for us some of the activities that you were involved in when you were a student here at Willmar Senior High.
I was involved in football and hockey during my time in Willmar High School, and I was glad for the privilege of being able to participate in these sports, and I enjoyed them very much.
Well, let's talk about football first, because I know we've got a lot to talk about with hockey, but reminisce for us a little bit about your football experience.
Well, we were practicing and playing the games out at the fairgrounds at that time, and it was more or less a horse pasture because it was hard. But then after I graduated from school, then they moved to the new facility, Hodap Field, and but we didn't get a chance to play on that nice soft field.
And Hodap Field is a very nice plush field. We compliment our custodians that are in charge of our groundskeeping time and time again, because it really is a great field, and many people admire it. So from a football standpoint, what was your position, and maybe tell us a little bit about a game or two that stand out in your mind as being particularly exciting.
I played left guard, pulling guard on the team, and both on defense and offense. And I suppose some of the exciting times was being on a team that just about won every game. Our last game was we lost 2-0, and we don't know how it happened, but it happened. But the one game that we played in Litchfield, it rained the whole game, and when we got done, we had to wring the water out of our jerseys because we were all soaking wet.
Well, it sounds to me like you had a great record going, and isn't it just amazing how over the years there are still some of these experiences that are just crystal clear as we recollect, and obviously a rainy football game of that magnitude is something that would stay with us. Well, in addition to your football experiences, you were a member of that now very, very famous 1947 state tournament hockey team. And clearly we're still talking about that in Willmar, and people have very fond memories of the 1947 team that went to the state. Talk to us a little bit about your experience with hockey.
Well, our situation here was kind of primitive compared to some of the teams in the northern part of the state, because we practiced outdoors. Our arena was railroad grain doors set up, and that was our arena, and it was always cold, and but we enjoyed playing, and we just enjoyed being outside and playing, and even if it was rough weather, we were right there.
How many games did you play in a year? I mean, did you travel quite a bit, or what were the conditions when it came to actually scheduling competition?
Well, it was hard to schedule competition because sometimes the rink wasn't fit to, and also that it was snowing or extremely bad weather, and I think we played a total of about 8 or 9 games during the year.
And of course, 1947 was a big year then for the hockey team. What was it like to be representing the community of Willmar at the state competition in 1947? What comes to mind when you think about that experience?
Well, it was all exciting. I mean, to be a part of that, and when you're going through it, well, you don't think too much about it. You're just enjoying the ride and hoping for the best. And we enjoyed our trip down there and all the things that went on there.
Over the years, when you've been reminiscing with classmates, does your conversation often come around to that hockey experience?
Well, that's one of the things that are uppermost in our mind. We enjoyed that, and when we get with our friends, they were hockey players too, so we like to talk about that, and as well as football and so on like that. So it's fun to get together and talk about these experiences.
Well, absolutely. I'm sure that it is. And it's also so much fun to share these experiences with our current Willmar Public Schools residents so that they know a little bit about the history of what has happened with our extracurricular activities over the years. You've mentioned to me, Johnny, that you've been a lifelong resident of Willmar and you spent your career working for Chapel Central here in Willmar. Talk to us a little bit about the changes that you've observed and just the fact that you're still so proud of being a Willmarite. That's just very clear to me when we visit.
I was one of the main, one of the pushers on getting the hockey and getting a facility back into Willmar. And Lenton Lair was the spearheading man, but we were all pushing and pushing and pushing. And the only thing I wished it would have been here 10 years sooner. I'd really enjoyed it. I played for a few years on the senior league, but it was a little. That was when I was getting to be pretty close to 60, and it was a little. It was a little much, but if it had been 10 years sooner, I'd have really appreciated it.
Well, I'm impressed. If you were playing hockey as you're approaching 60, that is very telling about your love for the game and just sort of your physical fitness when it comes to playing a very strenuous sport like hockey. You know, obviously you're a very generous person. You worked hard thinking of future generations to have hockey become a reality again in the Willmar Public Schools. But you also have spent some of your retirement years helping out in a number of capacities. I'm really very honored to hear about some of the things that you've been doing during the winter and other times to help other people. Share with us an example or two of some of what you've been doing in retirement to make life better for others.
Well, this past summer I've been working up at Sauk Center on a new church building and installing the heating and air conditioning, and we've done that in years past. About 10 winters we went down south, and from January to April we'd work on different projects, and they furnished us a place to park our trailer, and I would have hated to gone down there and just sat around all the time, but when you can do something productive, why it's a benefit to everybody.
Well, it really is a pleasure to meet you and to hear not only about your expertise and the outstanding career that you had in football and hockey, but just to also find out what a giving and generous person you are. So I want to thank you so much for taking time to visit with us. And again, congratulations on being inducted into the 2006 Cardinal Pride Hall of Fame. You certainly are one of those Cardinals that we're constantly proud of. And again, we wish you well in the future. Thanks so much, Johnny.
I appreciated the opportunity of being involved in athletics, and it was a pleasure for me to be able to do that.
Well, again, thank you, Johnny, and we'll ask you to stay with us because the next Cardinal Pride Hall of Fame inductee is coming up in just a minute.